Welcome to the Abrams Boxing Show, powered by Last Out Media and brought to you by www.15rounds.com, the worldwide leader in boxing news. Also, Abrams Boxing PR Media and Broadcasting, the industry standard for boxing media relations and play-by-play broadcasting. Also, check out www.abramsboxing.com, Abrams Boxing on YouTube, as well as M. Abrams Boxing on Twitter and Marc Abrams Boxing on Instagram. Coming to you from the MGM, well, not the MGM Grand this time, from the media tent just outside the T-Mobile Arena, where this Saturday night, just about 20 feet from where I'm sitting, will be Errol Spence Jr. take on Terrence Crawford for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. Welcome to the Abrams Boxing Show. We'll talk about that fight and all the other fights and news of the week. Got a few guests. We got Alejandro Santiago, who's taking on Nonito Donaire as part of the undercard this Saturday night for the WBO Bantamweight Championship. Also, undefeated flyweight LeAnna Cruz, former world champion Tevin Farmer, and Seniesa Estrada, who'll be in action on Friday night. So let's get right down to business as this past Tuesday morning in Japan. Naoya Inoue went to 25-0 with 22 knockouts as he stopped WBC, WBO 122-pound world champion Stephen Fulton in round number 8 of their fight. Fulton now 21-1 of their bout. Just an impressive performance from Naoya Inoue, who right now a lot of people after that performance are calling him the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world after what he did with Stephen Fulton on Tuesday in Tokyo, Japan. The time of the stoppage was 1:14. Dominant performance for Naoya Inoue. So, he's, like I said, probably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world until maybe Saturday. Just dominated the fight. And, beat a really good fighter in Stephen Fulton. And Fulton has nothing to hang his hat on. On the co-feature bout, WBO featherweight champion Robeisy Ramirez went to 13-1 with 8 knockouts as he defended his belt with a destruction of Japanese challenger Satoshi Shimizu. He dropped Shimizu, and the fight was stopped at 108 of round number 5 of their 12-round championship bout. Last Saturday night, former undisputed lightweight champion George Kambosos got a very dubious and favorable decision with a 12-round majority decision over Maxie Hughes. Hughes now 29-4-1. Kambosos, like I said, he's angling to get back into the undisputed or world title challenge part. It was an IBF title eliminator, so we'll see. I mean, obviously, I don't think he's going to fight Devin Haney again, but if Haney moves up to 140 pounds, he'll be in the mix to fight for a vacant world championship. Scores were 114-114 and 117-111 and 115-113 for George Kambosos. The co-feature saw Olympic silver medal winner Keyshawn Davis go to 9-0 as he dominated former European champion Francisco Patera. 28-4 now, over 10 round scores were 100-89 and 90 twice and 99-90 for I can't even think, Keyshawn Davis. Turning ahead to this week, this Saturday night live on Showtime pay-per-view. It's the one we've been waiting for months and months and months. Errol Spence Jr. takes on Terrence Crawford for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. I can't wait for the fight. Like I said, just a few yards away from where we're sitting over there at the T-Mobile Arena. It's going to be an unbelievable fight. I am leaning, very slight lean, Terrence Crawford. I think he may get the stoppage late. Any result would not shock me in the least. So Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. to getting it on this Saturday night live on Showtime pay-per-view. Glad the fight's made. It's been a long time coming. One of the undercard bouts will pit the WBO Bantamweight Championship as Nonito Donaire takes on Alejandro Santiago. Got a couple seconds with Santiago before his fight at yesterday's media day, and this is how.
Tener esa esquina tan importante a tu lado.
La familia que ahorita ha sido mi familia desde que comencé en el boxeo desde los 14 años estoy con ellos. Pues somos una familia, estoy muy cómodo, muy contento y listo para cumplir nuestros sueños.
My team and I are family. This is a dream come true, and this fight is for all of them. So I hope to be able to give my all and give them what they deserve.
What are you expecting to see out of your opponent come fight night?
¿Qué esperan ver de tu rival en la noche de la pelea?
Es que Luis venga de ser mismo Danito, que siempre ha sido peligroso para que no haya seguro para ganar.
I'm expecting the same dangerous Nonito, the same Hall of Famer that you all know. It's going to be hard to beat, but like I said before, I'm going to give it my all because I want to win that title.
Let's say you're victorious Saturday night. Who do you have next on your fighting radar?
Sorry, repeat.
Let's say you're victorious Saturday night. Who do you have next on your fighting radar?
Sí, ganas el sábado. ¿Quién te gustaría
El sábado me gustaría lo mejor. Quiero, mi meta es ser campeón este sábado y unificar después.
Give me the best of the best. The goal is to win this Saturday and then to unify titles. Guys,
Finalmente han sido casi 18 años de buscar este sueño desde niño.
Santiago, el boxeo cubano está pasando por un buen momento en estos momentos una vez para el boxeo cubano de Estados Unidos. Sabes que el boxeo cubano está pasando por un gran momento.
Never understood why people ask who's he going to fight next. He hasn't even fought Saturday. He might not even win. I mean, he's an underdog. I don't get why people ask those questions. You know, he's an unheralded guy. He's fought for the world title before, but he's not a guy that, I can get with Spence Crawford with a fight before. You want to try to make that big fight. There are no big fights out there right now for Santiago, win, lose, or draw Saturday night, but he's got to get past the tough Nonito Donaire. That being said, I like Donaire to win by knockout. Isaac Cruz takes on Giovanni Cabrera. I like Cruz by decision. And also, Ioannis Tellez take on Sergio Garcia. I'm going to go with Garcia by unanimous decision. Friday night, right down the road at the Palms Hotel and Casino, Seniesa Estrada will defend her minimum weight championship when she takes on LeAnna Cruz. I mean, that's going to be a good fight. I'll be in attendance for Estrada, who's an emerging star in boxing, in minimum weight. She's a girl who resonates. So I mean, I have a lot of respect. I actually like watching her fight a whole great deal. She really brings it every time she steps into the squared circle. And earlier this week, I had a couple minutes to talk to the minimum weight champion. That would be Seniesa Estrada, who takes on Leanella Yadika. So this is how it sounded. The fight will be live on ESPN Plus. So this is earlier this week with Seniesa Estrada. Here at the unified minimum weight champion Seniesa Estrada, Friday night taking on LeAnna Cruz, headlining ESPN Plus. A couple days out, how do you feel?
I feel great. I had a great training camp, and I'm just excited to be headlining in Las Vegas on this huge boxing weekend.
What's that mean to you? Obviously, there's more media here for obvious reasons, and Friday night they're going to congregate to see you. You feel that little added pressure in that regard?
I don't really think about the added pressure. I go into training camp and into every single fight with pressure, so it's no difference now. It just makes me more excited to put on a great performance for everybody who's going to be here supporting.
LeAnna Yadika, former, she nine title defenses. She was a classy world champion. At a higher weight, what does she bring to the table beside her accolades?
So she's a natural flyweight, so I know on fight night she's going to be the bigger fighter. She's going to be bigger than me, and she's not afraid to take challenges against world champions, and she's been one herself, like you said. So she's a tough opponent, and she's a boxer mover. She doesn't really come forward. So with my game plan going into this fight, I just want to show like my last fight with Tina. She was a short fighter who was very aggressive and very tough, throws a lot of punches, and I made her look ordinary than compared to her fights with every other opponent. So going into this fight, I want to show that I can also hunt down a fighter. I can cut off the ring. I could switch stances and get closer to my opponent, who's a boxer and mover. So I just want to show that I can fight any type of style and I can adjust to it.
Obviously, with other fights going on this weekend, it's an opportunity. You ever think to yourself, you know what, maybe I can share some headlines of some other fights, or even steal the show this whole weekend?
It's going to be very difficult to steal the show from Spence and Crawford, but yeah, I'm gonna try my best to just put on a great performance and a memorable one for sure.
What do you want to say to the fans in closing?
Thank you guys for all the support, and come to the Palms Casinos, get your tickets, or watch on ESPN Plus Friday night.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
There you have Seniesa Estrada, who will be defending her titles this Saturday night live on ESPN Plus. Also this Saturday night, Country Box will be back in from South Carolina, from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You can watch it on countrybox247.com and iTube247.com, plus fight.tv. So if you want to get some free boxing, there you go. Some news items of the week. Golden Boy Promotions announced that they signed the WBA number 1 ranked super lightweight in the world, O'Hara Davies, to a contract. Davies 25-2, 18 knockouts. He's the mandatory for Rolando Romero for the WBA super lightweight championship. Top Rank announced that IBF featherweight champion Luis Alberto Lopez, 28-2, 16 knockouts, will defend his world title against two-time world title challenger Joet Gonzalez, 26-3, 15 knockouts. That'll be on Mexican Independence Weekend on September 15th at the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi, Texas. 10-round co-feature will pit Xander Zaya, 16-0, 10 knockouts, taking on Roberto Valenzuela, 21-4, 20 knockouts. Taken Promotions announced a pair of world title fights that will take place on September 18th. WBC and WBA light flyweight champion Tenshiro Taraji, 21-1, 13 knockouts, will make a defense against Heki Butler, 35-4, 11 knockouts, the 35-year-old from South Africa. Also on the card, the impressive-looking Junto Nakatani, 25-0, 19 knockouts, will put his belt on the line when he takes on WBO number 9 RG Cortez, 25-3-2, 10 knockouts, making the trek all the way from Mexico. Undefeated big heavyweight Bakhtiar Jalioff, 12-0, 12 knockouts, who recently signed with Top Rank, will make his debut under the promotional banner with an 8-round fighter on August 26th on the Jared Anderson-Andre Rodunko heavyweight showdown at the Hard Rock Hotel Casino. Jalioff will be in action also. Heavyweight Effie Ajagba, 17-1, 13 knockouts, will take on Jean Kasabaski, 19-0, 18 knockouts. Again, that will be on that fight, as Kasabaski, you remember, was originally supposed to fight Jared Anderson, but he had visa problems, got that all figured out. Not going to get Anderson, but he will get Effie Ajagba on August 26th. In a rematch that was announced, Liam Smith will take on Chris Eubank. That will take place September the 2nd at the AO Arena in Manchester, England. Earlier this week, I had a chance to talk to former world champion Tevin Farmer for a couple seconds, and this is how it sounded. Former world champion Tevin Farmer here.
You gotta announce me as future two-time.
Former and future two-time world champion. Dayon, I'll get you in a minute. So, great night of fights here in Philly.
It was a hell of a card. I can't lie. It was a hell of a card. Me personally, I don't usually stay for a whole card. I barely even attend any boxing events, but it was a great show.
It was a great show. You recently got back, big win over Avery Sparrow. Quick question, how about the fight?
My fight, I feel like my timing was off a little bit, but overall, I got the job done against a really good fighter, and I was satisfied. My defense still on point. Just gotta get my timing back, and it come with the game. I've been off for almost 4 years, so I'm okay with it.
So you said off for 4 years. When can we expect to see you back?
I'll be back in September. Not sure what date yet, and then December. And next year, we'll be gunning for a title again.
135?
130.
130. Yeah. I mean, what's that say? After 4 years out, you're still going to campaign at 130. That's a tremendous thing.
Yeah, I mean, I stayed in shape, and I stayed grounded, so I was able to keep my weight to where I need to be at. I wanted to do 35 originally, but I feel like it's too many politics, too many people waiting in line. I'm finna go to 130, get straight to the point, and then move up and become a mandatory.
Well, Tevin, I told you I'd keep you less than 2 minutes. Get out of here.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Also on the same night, I had a chance to do a fight. We said Dayon Budd. He won a unanimous decision over Michael Crane that night, the 2300 Arena, live on BXNG TV. I had a chance to commentate with undefeated flyweight LeAnna Cruz. Cruz will be fighting on the new Overtime Elite Series on August the 18th. That will be live on the Zone. And LeAnna, she can fight. I mean, we had Seniesa Estrada talk before, and she's going to try to do 105, 108, 112. She at some point may have to run into the undefeated fighter who from Allentown, Pennsylvania, named LeAnna Cruz, signed to Split Team Management and promoted by Hard Hitting Promotions, and this is how it sounded. Here at the unified minimum weight champion Seniesa Estrada, Friday night. Here with LeAnna Cruz on August 18th. Trying to get LeAnna. Here with LeAnna Cruz on August 18th will make her national television debut, and she fights on the Overtime Elite Series down in Atlanta, Georgia, live on the Zone. LeAnna, what's happening?
Nothing much. I mean, I commentated tonight, getting ready for my big fight, my TV debut, 6-rounder against a pretty quality opponent.
Mary Gwynn Valoria?
Valanga.
Mm-hmm. Tell us
She's 4-3-2.
So you excited about that opportunity? You can show a lot of people here in the Philly area know all about what you can do, and you're about to show a whole different audience.
I'm super excited. It's definitely going to be a new experience because I'm super comfortable fighting out of Philly, so I won't be home. However, I know how I get when I'm in that mode, so I know it's going to be the same kind of performance that I put on whether I'm home or I'm not.
So we just saw a great night of fights here in Philly. What'd you think?
Oh, I thought it was a great night of fights down in Philly. I didn't expect as much action, but a 10-round card, and I think eight of the fights there were stops, so that's pretty impressive. I really liked tonight, the card.
Fight between Dill and Romaine. Dill was down twice in round 3, came back and stopped him. That was probably the fight of the night.
Oh, I think it was definitely fight of the night, but that was a questionable stoppage. I'd love to see that rematch.
Well, what do you want to tell the fans out there before we see you on August the 18th?
You guys will continue seeing a new and improved LeAnna Cruz in the ring. Tune in August 18th on the DAZN app. I will have my 6th fight, and I will be 6-0.
The Bumblebee will be stinging down in Atlanta, right?
Yes, sir.
Wish you best of luck.
Thank you so much.
There you have it, LeAnna Cruz. Good have some late results in that happened just after we got the tape. And in Kissimmee, Florida, Orlando Gonzalez and Ramiro Cessna fought each other, and Gonzalez took a 10-round unanimous decision, 96-94, 97-93, and 96-94. Also, XWBA 140-pound championship, Alberto Puela was a champion in recess after he tested positive. They were trying to figure out, what they were going to do with him. Obviously, now all the tests came back. He is out of the ranking, stripped of his title. So that makes Rolando Romero the full champion. Anthony Yard, the former 2-time world title challenger, will be back on the Zheli Zhang Joe Joyce undercard. He'll take on Ricky Summers on September 23rd in England. Also some other news and notes that have been going around. Harvey Dock will be the referee for the big fight here on Saturday night. Tim Cheatham, I think David Sutherland, and our good friend Steve Weisfeld will be the judging core. So hopefully everyone this Saturday night gets to watch this big fight, the fight we've been waiting for 2, 3, 4 years now. Errol Spence Jr. taking on Terrence Crawford for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. You can watch it live on Showtime pay-per-view or payperview.com or ppv.com. So we've been here all week. So check out Abrams Boxing on YouTube. We'll have all the latest interviews and footage from Fight Week. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this week, and we'll talk to you next week on the Abrams Boxing Show.